Hi everybody, welcome to Mitch Maths. My name is Mitch and this video is going to be all about percentages. I'm going to be going over what is a percentage and the basics of percentages. I'll then be covering some easier questions such as find a certain percentage of a number, what is the new number after a percentage increase or decrease, and then representing some numbers as a percentage of another number. I'll then be going on to some slightly harder questions, finding out what is the percentage change between two numbers, and then I'll be looking at questions which ask you to find the original value after a increase or decrease in percentage. Okay, so let's take a second then to think about what is a percentage. So a percentage is essentially a good way of representing a proportion of a number. And the main rule we must remember when dealing with percentages is 100% is the same as the number itself. So let's think about 1 then. Let's take 1 as an example. So if 100% equals 1, then 50%, because 50% is half of 100%, so 50% of 1 would be 0.5. Okay? And if we wanted to go the other way, we could say 200%. So because 200% is double 100%, 200% is of 1 is double 1, so it becomes 2. Okay? And as long as you remember that 100% is the number in question, then percentages are good ways of representing the proportion of that number. Okay, so let's pick another number then to show you how this applies to other numbers as well. So let's pick, for example, 24. Okay, so 24 is our starting number. So 100% of 24 is 24. Okay, 50% of 24, because 50% is half, 100%, would be half of 24, so that would be 12. Okay, and 200% would be double 100%, so it would be double 24, which is 48. Okay, and you can do this for any point as well. So you could do it for any percentage. You could say 10%, and because 10% is 100% divided by 10, we divide 24 by 10, and that would give us 2.4. So 2.4 is 10% of 24. Okay, hopefully that makes it really clear about what percentages actually represent and what they are. And now we can move on to some questions. Okay, so our first example then is a really simple one with percentages, where it is find 15% of £36. Okay, so you might have to do something like this when you're out and about shopping. So how would you go about this then? So the way you'd find a percentage of a number is first you'd convert this into a decimal, okay, and then you'd times that decimal by the number you want to find the percentage of. So in this case then, our 15% converted into a decimal, if you remember from the previous video we looked at how to do this, all you have to do is divide it by 100. So 15% would become 0.15. And now what you want to do, you want to multiply this by 36. Okay? And if you do that, then you get the answer 5.4. So this should be something you can do on your calculator. Or if you don't have a calculator, and this is quite difficult to do, you can think about it a different way. So we want to find 15% of 36. So if you can't straight away think of what 15% of 36 is, you can break the 15% down into smaller chunks that are easy to work out. So 15%, two parts that make up 15% could be 10% plus 5%. And if you can work these out together, then you can add them up and then come to 15% of 36. So 10% of 36 is quite easy because you just divide it by 10. So that will become 3.6. And then 5% is just half of this. So half of 3.6 would be 1.8. And then you'd add these together. 6 plus 8 is 14. So you carry the 1, 3, 4, 5, like this. And you get your answer 5.4, just like we did here. So the next question we're going to look at then is give 50p as a percentage of £1.50. So what this question is essentially asking for is what proportion is 50p to £1.50? Okay, so what we do with this one then is we divide them. So we do 50p as our numerator, and our denominator will be £1.50. But what we must do when we're doing questions like this is that when we divide them, we must make sure that the units of both our numbers are the same. Okay, so they must either be both represented in pounds or both represented as p's in this case. So let's just choose p's then. So 50p, that's fine. £1.50 converted into pennies, we'll times it by 100, so that becomes 150, because there's 150 pennies in £1.50. So here we'll write 150. Okay, and now we just divide these. So we do 50 divided by 150. So we know that goes into it 3 times. So this becomes same as a third, and then that as a decimal we know is 0.3 recurring, and then multiply that by 100 to get our percentage. So that will give us 33.3%. Okay, and that's the answer to that one. We just take the numbers, make sure they're in the same units and divide them, and then convert the answer into a percentage. Okay, so now this question is one which says something along the lines of the original cost of an item was £50. There's been an increase in the price of 40%. What is the new price now? Okay, so if you look at this sort of question, we must always look at our original cost, and we must now think, okay, this is the 100%. Okay, so the original is always 100%. Okay, and in this case, it's £50. Right? The new price has been an increase in 40%. Okay, so that means that the new percentage, because there's been an increase in 40%, is 100 plus 40. So the new price is 140%. Okay, so the original was 100% and that was 50. The new one is now 140% of the original, and we're not sure what that is yet. Okay, so the way we work this one out is we can convert this into a decimal. Okay, so convert that into a decimal then. 100% is 1, so 140% is 1.4 as a decimal. Okay, and what we can now do is we can now times 50 by 1.4, and that will give us our new price. So 40% of 50 then, so 10% is 5, times by 4 is 20. So 20 added on to 50 is 70. So that is our new price, £70. So now I've slightly changed the question. So we've still got our original cost of £50, but this time we're now having a decrease in 40%, and now we need to work out the new price again. So the beginnings of our working out has stayed exactly the same. Our original price is still 50, and that represents our 100%. And this time, rather than adding on 40%, we want to minus 40%. Okay, so our new price is be 100% minus 40%, so it leaves us with 60%. So the new price is 60% of what we once had. Okay, so we can work this out the exact same way. We could convert that to a decimal. That would be 0.6. So if we had 50 times 0.6, that would give us our answer. And if you have a calculator, this sort of thing becomes really, really easy. But if you don't, the perhaps slight simpler way you can work this out, this is how I would do it if I was doing it in my head, you would say, okay, well, let's work out what 40% is of 50. So 40% of 50, not quite sure, so it's 10% times 4. So 10% of 50 is 5, just divide it by 10. 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, so now that's our 40%, and we want to take that away. So we've got 40% off, so it's 50 minus the 40%, so minus 20. 50 minus 20 gives us 30, and that would be the same answer that we'd get if we multiplied it by 0.6. Okay, the most important thing that I find when working with these sort of questions is to always set up a table like this. Okay, so you've got your original, you've got what as 50 in this case, but that could change. So your original is always 100%, and that is the main thing to remember in these questions. Your original is always 100%, and your percentage change is changing this to either increase or decrease, and then you can convert that into a decimal and then multiply across like this to get your new price. As long as you work it out like this, you'll always be able to get the right answer. Okay, so now we're going to slightly change the example to one of the more harder questions we get, and people slip up on this sort of question all the time. And this sort of question, we've now got the new price of an item is £120. There was a 10% increase. So what was the original price? And what we mean is, what was the original price before the 10% increase that took it to £120? Okay, so we can do these using the exact same method I showed you in the previous section with the table. Okay, so we have our original price. Okay, and we've got our new price over here. Right, we'll draw that table. And so remember, we always must have our original price as 100%. Okay, this is 100%. And we know that on this occasion we've had an increase of 10%. Okay, so it's been up by 10%. So the new percentage is now 110%. Okay, and we know that the new price, we've got it here, is £120. Okay, and we want to find out what the original price is. So whereas before we multiplied this up to get the new price, we must now look at this and we think, right, our new price is 110% of what it once was. So if we convert this into a decimal then, 110, this will become 1.1. Okay, so whereas we multiplied to get from original to the new price, we must now divide to get from the new price back to the original price. Okay, so now what we want to do is 120 divided by 1.1. So to do that, I'll grab my calculator. Okay, and I'll have 120 divided by 1.1, and that gives us 109.09. Okay, so that is our answer, 109.09. So in this case, it would have been £109 and 9 pence. Okay? Okay, I really hope that made sense. The most important thing with these questions is to always lay out your table like this. If you can get your original price column and your new price column set up and get the numbers into the right spaces, then it should make this sort of thing really easy. Remember, if you're coming from the original to the new price, you multiply by the increase, or if you go the other way, it's always dividing. And now I'm going to show you another example of decreasing percentage, doing this as well. Okay, so now we've got our calculator as well. I'm going to try and pick an example which I probably can't do in my head really quickly, but it's fine because we've got the calculator to do it. So the second example that I've now chosen of this, so our new price we've got is £74. This has been a decrease in 25%. So what was the original price before we had this decrease in 25%? So let's just do it again. Let's draw out our table. So we've got our original, we've got our new, okay, and so our original is always 100%, keep that as 100%, and this time we've had a decrease in 25%. Okay, so 100 minus 25% gives us 75%. Okay, and we know that our new price is £74. So we've got this here, and it's the original price that we're looking for, that we want. So exactly the same way again then. So 100 minus 25 was 75%. Convert that into a decimal, gives us 0.75. And as we're trying to go backwards now, we want to divide this by our decimal. So what we want to do then is grab our calculator, and this time we want to go 74 divided by 0.75, and that gives us 98.6666 recurring. So that would give us, to 2 decimal places then, 98.67, and that would be the original answer. Okay, one way to sort of sanity check your answers to these kind of questions is to think, okay, well, has this number gotten bigger or smaller, and is that what we would expect? So let's think about this example then. We've had 98 as our original price. We've had a decrease in 25%, so we are expecting the price to go down, and that's exactly what we see by the new price being 74, which is less than 98. If this was the different sort of question where we had an increase in percentage, we would always expect the original value to be lower than the new value because there's been an increase in percentage. So if you've got that the right way round, there's definitely a good chance that you've got the rest of the answer correct. And again, once again, if you can set up this table having your original always as 100%, and then your new given the percentage change, and you multiply it to get your new price, or you divide it to get your original price, as long as you set that up, these sort of questions should become really simple and really easy. Okay, so the last example then I'm going to cover in this video is a question just like this one, where we're given the old price, we're given the new price, and we're asked for what is the discount. So basically what this is asking for is what is the percentage change from the original value to the new value. So there is a little formula that you can remember to work this out. So it is the percentage change is equal to the change in value, okay, the change in value divided by the original value. And then to get the percentage, we would then multiply this by 100. Okay, so let's apply this to the problem that we've got here then. So first of all, we need our change in value. Okay, so our old price is 89, our new price is 39. So 89 minus 39 will give us 50. Okay, and we know our original value as 89. So our percentage change is equal to change in value, 50, divided by the original value, 89, multiplied by 100. Okay, so let's put that into the calculator now then. So we've got 50 over 89 times 100, and that gives us a percentage change of 56 point, let's do to 1 decimal place, 56.8. Okay, so that means that our discount in this case was 56.8%. So the original price was 89. There was a discount of 56.8%, so the price decreased by 56.8%. So the new price was 39. Okay, I hope that made sense. This is quite a little quicker, simple, easy way of doing it. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I hope you learned something about percentages. And I think the main thing to take away from this video was that table that I drew showing the old price, new price, and then multiplying up to find the new price or dividing back to find the old price. If you remember that, all these type of questions will become really quick and easy. If you want to see more videos like this one, then head over to my YouTube channel, Mitch Maths, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much.